So my channel has moved up in the world. We now have on the ground actual reporters. He looks like Brad Ferguson, but he's got to be somebody else because, Brad's normally in his office. Brad Ferguson, is that you actually, Brad Ferguson, down in Austin?
I am down in South Austin where Robotaxi is operating.
And I understand you're going to treat us to a trip in the red Robotaxi.
The only red Robotaxi. We're gonna go in that one.
Okay. All right.
One
And
in the world right now. How crazy is that?
you were telling me in the green room that we have 11 robotaxis total.
Yes.
And
Many more ready to be pressed into action, but 11 right now for the first week. So Elon was correct, 10,
okay,
10 to 20.
okay. And so all the conversation about 35, et cetera, we were reading it wrong on the board.
Yeah, reading the wrong number apparently.
And do we have any information coming from kind of inside the Beltway, or are we just having to guess everything as usual?
I don't have any inside information, but I'm happy to share some thoughts on what I've seen and what I think Tesla is doing as far as safety. And uh, I think I wouldn't mind hazarding some guesses on what the shape of the rollout will look like. And yeah, so it's going to be a great episode.
All right, good. There you go. We
Yeah,
always want greatness. We expect
it's
that.
a little loud outside, but I'm going to go ahead and head out there so you can all see it when it arrives.
Okay, all right, good. So how many rides have you taken so far?
Over 50.
You've taken over 50 rides.
Yeah, over the course of 3 days.
All right, all right. So that puts you up in the top two or three, I think, of people in terms of the number of rides.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm hoping to get to 69, but I don't think I'll quite get there.
I see. When do you leave?
I leave in about 3 hours or so.
I see.
3 hours.
So you're just gonna fall short, huh?
Yeah, unfortunately,
Well, you should have stopped. Then you should have stopped at 42, right?
that's right. That would
And
have been the perfect number.
have you had any incidences along the way that caused you any unhappiness?
Not really, no. So we've seen more mistakes by human drivers than I have by the robotaxi.
Well, that doesn't
So,
shock me at all.
so three, three, four wrong lane choices.
Okay.
So one was all three of them were around what lane to turn from, but another one was in a bus lane, which was the far right lane, and the robotaxi needed to turn right. So imagine you need to turn right, but there's a car in the bus lane. Uh, so it waited for that car to go through, and then the robotaxi turned right. It did the perfect thing.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's pretty.
super super impressive. Yeah, very smooth, and I haven't seen it make any wrong lane choices.
Wow. All right. But you saw three or four human
Yeah,
wrong lane choices along.
yeah, four of them. Yeah.
How about Waymos? Have you seen? We've seen some Waymos making bad decisions. Uh,
Yeah, I've had Waymos drive me a couple times
okay.
and pretty good, but I did maybe we could talk about safety.
Okay.
Um so let's get into that when we get
Okay.
into the car. So write that one down. I definitely want to get to that. But I'll just say this. I had a Waymo drive me through a torrential downpour.
Okay.
So we'll get to that in a second.
Okay. All right. Yes, we
Because
know
my
that.
ride is less than 2 minutes away.
All right. I know I've driven through Texas many, 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 many times, and the gully washers there are
Hmm.
are a known thing. Uh,
Yeah.
Florida and Texas for me are the two where you get the most these downpours where you have to pull over. You just
Yeah.
should not drive.
Yeah.
Yep.
I've had that happen to me in Florida as well. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. One time I was so bad I managed to go a few feet further so I could actually get under the awning of a gas station to wait it out
Mhm.
because it was just unbelievable.
Well,
So,
what other quick questions do you have before we get into?
have you been having fun meeting up with other Teslaonaires and or just regular old members of the community down there?
Yeah, so I met up with Larry, who's on your show quite a bit,
Right,
right?
right, yeah.
Uh, Omar from Holmar's catalog, Zern Basher, Xander Sky, Hans Nelson from Farzad's channel. So I've seen all those folks.
Yeah, and you said you thought there was only about 11 people writing right now, 11 invitees.
Yeah, 11 people that have the app.
I see, 11 people that have the app total.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. Even so, some days there will.
No, there's more invitees, but yeah, 11 people at a time
I see.
that are in town. Yeah.
Okay.
So oh no, that's a Waymo. Let's see it. Let's check it out. Check it. So I just gave this guy has a oh, sorry. Here's a Waymo.
Okay.
They're a little strange.
Yes.
They're all the equipment is kind of intimidating.
Yeah, no kidding.
So let's do a walk around here.
Sure. Could you have a conversation with the driver, please? All right.
So that's the Waymo. And we should have the Tesla coming soon.
Okay. All right. Yeah. And
Wait a second to get in. You might be able to get a side by side shot. Yeah, we didn't we didn't plan this together.
right, right.
So this is a guy who has a YouTube channel is in Thai called Exit Strategy.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So Tesla should be coming soon. It's waiting for lights.
Okay. I see a red car.
That's not it. Yeah.
Not in. Okay. So how
Go
about
ahead and unlock the car if you haven't.
It said we'll be here for another 5 minutes.
Okay. All right.
how have your pickup locations been? Have they been picking you up and leaving you off at the right place?
Yeah. So I have a different opinion about this.
Okay.
So people want to be curbside. They want curbside service, but I don't think that's always best. So if
Oh,
you're on a busy road, where there's a lot of traffic, you don't want people getting off. I guess you could lock the left door and prevent people from using it, but until you do that, you want people to get out on the right side. But
mhm.
also you don't want your car to be stopping. People aren't anticipating drop-offs in certain spots. So typically in some of those spots, the car it'll drop you off very close by, and it'll be off the side of the main street.
Gotcha.
So
Gotcha.
it's safer and it's better for traffic.
Okay. That sounds smart.
Yeah. So I think that's really good. I'm not sure how that scales for Tesla, because you need maybe a little local knowledge, but you can get data with traffic, so volume of traffic, how far traffic gets backed up, things like that. So maybe you could base it off of data, yeah, as far as those suggested pickup locations.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Yeah. I mean, there's a difference, I think, also between the kind of work that Waymo's doing of tremendous, LiDAR, radar, et cetera, mapping a city.
Hmm.
There's a difference between that and, let's say, going in and doing a once over in a city before you begin operations.
Go ahead.
I was just saying it might make sense to send in, 30 cars or whatever and let them, move through the city real quick and start
Just
learning some of that before you go into that city. Whoops, I lost your voice.
yeah, that's on purpose. We're trying to get a side-by-side
Oh,
shot.
okay. All right.
of-
Okay.
We're having a little fun.
Okay.
Yeah,
Still no red car, huh?
it's come to the spot like 15 times for me. It's the hotel I'm staying at.
Right.
Give me another question.
Another question. So what about the smoothness compared to Waymo?
I think it's more smooth in general. It's better driver.
Better driver.
Yeah.
Aggressive, similar to your model, your personal car?
Well, the Tesla self-driving version 13, I say is drives like a chauffeur, so I wouldn't call it aggressive. I think it's just right for how it drives. Especially on city streets, people can set it to hurry mode on the highway, and that's a little too crazy.
Okay.
No, it should be here, but it's not.
Uh-oh, it's showing on
It'll
your
be
app.
coming.
Is it showing on your app that it's here?
Not yet. It said 2 minutes, like when I said that before.
Well, here you go, folks. This is real. This is live. This is,
Let me check the app.
sure. We're,
Whoa,
oh,
gave me a weird.
it is giving you a weird pickup.
It's like a weird pickup spot.
Okay.
I'm gonna report the issue.
Okay. How far away is it?
Uh, Correct or not?
Is it, so how far is it from you? Can you hear me?
I'm gonna cancel the pickup. I can hear you. Can you hear me, Randy?
I can hear you most of the time. Yes. Now I can't even see you.
Okay.
Okay.
I turned that off on purpose. Give me a moment.
All right. Okay. So, so you're going to cancel it and call it again and see if it moves it to a better place?
Yeah, give me a moment. My wife is texting me at this time.
Oh, that too.
I gotta make sure. It's a live mess. Okay, let me grab another Robotaxi.
Sure.
We'll do it live.
Yeah, no, will here you go. You've had smooth sailing until now, but on this live broadcast, of course, there would be something. We got to have something to make it interesting.
Okay, now it says my ride is 10 minutes away.
10 minutes
So-
away.
We'll wait for that. So let's get into my story here. I'll turn on my video.
Okay.
Are you hearing music at all or no?
I'm not. You're good.
Okay.
Shockingly good sound and video for on the road.
Yeah, so on Tuesday, my first day at 3:20 p.m., the service stopped, and we were wondering what's going on. In 15 minutes, rain started, and shortly after that, it was a downpour, torrential downpour,
Uh-huh.
and we ordered a Waymo to come pick us up, and it picked us up in a downpour. But it was so bad, the Waymo had to get off the road and get into a parking lot, which it did on its own.
Nice.
But then it proceeded, and there was a time where it stopped in the middle of the road once without the hazard lights on,
Oh,
and another time where it dipped into a parking lot briefly to take a knee. So it took a knee 3 times. It probably shouldn't have been operating. And the reason I mention all this is Tesla shut down their service. LiDAR didn't actually help the Waymo. Like
right.
it
Right.
it had to stop 3 times. So all those LiDARs didn't help. And we returned to where the Waymo picked us up about an hour later, and
Uh-huh.
there was an accident that was still resolving,
Huh.
where humans got in an accident and one guy's car got totaled.
Wow.
So you got really heavy rain, you got the splashing, people just kind of panicky and off, and so then they got into an accident. So Tesla is being very selective about operating in a safe way and reducing chances of an accident. It's not
Sure.
only your car that you're concerned about accidents, like someone running into the side of you, which happened to this other guy at the
Right.
scene. His front and rear doors were smushed together and smushed in.
Yeah. Yeah. And of course we want that. I think I remember one time I was in Virginia, and it was snowing. And in Virginia, they're not used to very much snow, and so there was a
Hmm.
couple of inches on the ground. You couldn't get a cab to come get you. They were shut down.
Yeah. Another thing that's weird is, Waymo doesn't take the same approach with pickup drop off. So sometimes they'll do the curb
Oh,
on certain streets. The hotel I'm staying in has a drive that you can pull into, and even Uber has that mapped. And Waymo's services is on Uber, but on this ride, it dropped us off on the curb in the middle of a downpour.
okay.
It was not good. The curb of the street,
Yeah,
not the under the
under the awning.
this under the awning for the hotel.
Oh my goodness. All right.
Something else from a safety standpoint. So, if you follow Tesla, if you own a Tesla, you know that Teslas are extremely safe on the highway.
Right.
And maybe you heard this, but most accidents happen where, Larry, Randy?
Within 2 minutes of home.
So, like residential and city
Right.
streets, right?
Right.
But most fatalities happen where?
On the freeways.
On the highway. So right now, Tesla is avoiding the highway, even though their system's really good at it. But we know that they're testing on the highway.
Okay. Yeah.
That they're not testing with outsiders. So they may have a safety monitor, but they do have no one in the seat. It's pretty wild.
So after taking 50 rides, how long do you think the safety monitors need to be in the seat? Or what are your thoughts about the safety monitors?
So I'm optimistic that this next version that Tesla's coming out with, which is under employee review right now, or under their their SEAL Team 6 or whatever review, I think that's going to greatly improve the amount of safety critical interventions that are needed to prevent accidents. So if you could 10x with this new software version, and I'll say this, I believe version 13 was a 100x for me as far as the need for interventions.
Okay.
So it dropped that need. So before version 13, I could not complete a single drive.
Right.
And after it's like maybe one drive, uh, I was intervening where I needed to, uh, or where it would have been a little jarring for the passenger, but maybe not like a safety critical.
Right. Yeah. I can't remember the last time that I intervened for safety critical. Um, and that's with that's with Los Angeles freeway system. So,
Mhm.
going right across downtown.
Yeah.
So, but and also on city streets in West LA, which is pretty busy, really busy streets.
Mhm.
So, yeah, so so you're thinking that maybe if they upgrade the system that's on the cabs now, they'll eliminate the safety rider.
I think that may enable it, but also I think they're getting a lot of great feedback um, from this, and if they can get this air, maybe if they train extra on Austin, it'll allow them to get it to 10 times better just from that.
Okay. Yeah. Yes. So and in talking to the other folks that are down there from the community, how do you feel that they're finding the rides? Are they finding real serious problems, or they finding it to be pretty good?
Yeah, they're finding it to be pretty good. So minor nitpicks. So, occasional slight tapping on the brake, so to speak, where you're letting the motor brake a little bit just for like maybe from 33 miles an hour to 30, like big
Right.
deal.
Right.
Not a phantom brake where it's like wanting to go from like 30 to 0
Right.
in a forceful way. Um, there's been the occasional where it's maybe get freaked out a little bit and it's trying to dodge something that's not there.
Mhm.
But then that's with no other cars opposing you. So
Right.
like, who really cares?
The city of Austin said they've noted one issue. Have you been able to figure out which one of the issues city of Austin has noted?
No, I don't know what
Okay.
that would be.
Okay. Um, and then after 50 rides, are can you? I'm trying to figure out what kinds of things will get in the way of going broad and getting way more people, getting
Yeah.
citizens in the cars, etc.
Yeah, I'd say the main thing is that you want to get rid of the safety monitor in the area that you're operating. Um, so I think worst case, maybe it takes till year end to do that. So that could severely limit um, the number of cars they would be able to operate in this area.
Yeah, that would severely limit. You don't want
Yeah,
that expense. Yeah.
but I'm not sure how many safety drivers they have or ADAS drivers that Tesla has today.
Well, so that's two different things, right? So we got the safety driver in the car, and then we got
The
the
safety
backup
monitor,
safety
it's
monitor
the
in the
safety
car,
monitor in the car,
right?
right?
And then we have people that have remote access that
Right.
are right now remotely, I guess, watching every single car, and that are also
No,
no, they're not watching every single car. They're just available when they get called.
right. They have some system where the car flags things. So one example is we were stopped by a train.
Hmm.
Um, so the car was stopped for a long time, and then that called
Oh,
the remote support, and then the remote support called in, and they said they already knew
mhm.
the issue, and thanks, bye. And they kind of like ended the ticket, so to speak.
Right, right. So did you use remote support on purpose as a test, or did you uh, did you play around with remote support?
I forget what I called it for. But I don't think it was about this, but I did try changing. You can't change your destination in the middle of a trip.
Okay.
I don't know if that was ever the case. It might have been the case on the first day, but it wasn't the case on day 3.
You can't change your destination on an Uber ride.
Yeah,
You can't even end an Uber ride, get out of the Uber vehicle, and then call quickly and try to get that same vehicle to take you to your next spot. I tried to do that one day when I accidentally went to the wrong place, and
yeah,
I had to wait 10 minutes for the next Uber.
yeah.
That would be one thing that I think
Oh,
that would, whoop.
Let me see what's going on with the app. So you're gonna lose my video for a second.
That's okay.
Can you
We're
still
up. We're good. Yes, I can hear you.
hear me, Brandy?
Yes, I can hear you. I don't know if
Can
you
you still hear me?
You can't hear me apparently.
Okay. All right.
It's like being back in the days of AOL when it first came out. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you, but I can hear you when I go to the app.
Right.
I can hear you the whole time when I go to the app.
Okay.
You just can't hear me or see me. So just know that like when I'm doing that, I'm going to the app.
Right. So how far away are we now?
So it's a minute away. So I'm gonna get out there and take some video of it approaching us.
Okay. Unfortunately,
Hopefully this time it
lost our
works out.
shot, with the Waymo.
We did. Yeah, we did lose the side by side with the Waymo. Oh, here we go. We got the black. So we lost the red one.
Oh, but you got a black one. It's all good.
Got a black one.
There it is.
Yeah. So I got to show them my app, and then
Okay.
let me show you this. Can you see the visual pretty good?
Oh yeah, it's good. It's all good.
I'm gonna show the guy my app.
Sure.
Hopefully he doesn't need to see it again. It's got this little badge.
Yep, yep, yep. So now that we've talked about all the stuff that everybody else already talks about, now the safety rider can hear me talk about something different because you see, I like to do things that are different.
Yeah, let's do something different. What's up?
May I please see your app?
I showed you my notification.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. I did see
Yep.
that.
Okay.
So once you're all situated, you have to push go.
I do.
Okay.
All right. You ready?
Yeah.
On your command.
Go. Let's go. All right.
Let's go. Can you flip the visor up?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I don't think that driver needs a visor.
You're right. Let's not heckle him though, Randy.
I wasn't talking about the rider, the rider. I was talking about the driver.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. You
All
weren't talking
right.
about the safety monitor. Yep.
Yep, yep. So here you are. You're on your way,
Mhm.
and driving.
Let's talk about something different. You want to talk about something
Yeah, something
different?
different. Okay, so everybody says I'm the only one talking about this,
Okay.
and that is the cost from day one. Now we've got the safety monitor. That's a cost, and we've got probably a fair number of people right now in the ADA. People that are monitoring or available to talk to you and whatnot. And those costs
Mhm.
are down. Other than that, I'm trying to figure out once you get those down to normal, I don't know what other costs there's going to be that's going to make this more than the 20 to 30 cents that most people estimate the cost will be when it's, fully ramped. I don't see, normally when a new car comes out, you get these ramping costs.
Yeah.
But I don't think we're going to have these ramping costs. So it's going to be it seems like it'll be profitable practically from day one.
It should be, and AI should be able to handle a lot of the issues that come up. So, it should like the whole thing where the car stopped at a train and was stopped at a train for a while. They'll have that a car stopped for a reason or another. That's going to happen many different times. It's probably going to be for accidents or trains or other things, maybe a parade or a marathon
Right.
or stuff like that. And then they'll be able to train the AI on it, and not have human review for everything, and maybe human review for new situations, but then eventually you automate that away. So I think at the remote command center, they're going to be focusing on Operation Vacation. Have you heard of that phrase before?
No, I'm not sure. I mean, yes, I do. I think I did, but go ahead and explain it.
So it's from Andre Karpathy, who was a longtime Tesla AI executive, leading that, and the goal was to automate as much as possible, as far as like AI learning, AI training, but you just want to automate even more. So I agree with you. The Tesla will likely scale their operation. Um, so you'll have, a few number of people surveying thousands of cars. And yeah, I struggle to see, what's a big fixed cost per car. And I would agree with you there.
Yep. All right. So, and so this is again contrary to the other products that are out there that we're competing with, is that they've got years and years before they became profitable. We're not sure whether at this point whether Waymo is profitable or not, because they've got all these fixed costs that they're having to deal with.
Hey, Randy, you got to go solo for a moment.
I got to go solo for a minute. Well, you see, I could sing or dance. I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do solo here. I can sing so low that, because nobody wants to hear it. That was an old joke, very old. It was on the walls of caves. If you're talking to me, no, I guess you're not. I'm not sure who you're talking to. So anyway, I think this is an important issue, is that Tesla's cost somewhere between 20 and 30 cents, depending on which vehicle you're depreciating and depending on which vehicle, because the larger vehicles are going to get, slightly less, a slightly higher cost per mile in terms of the energy use. You're looking at 20 to 30 cents all in. And as Brian and Bradford just agreed, it should be that way from the first day that we no longer have the safety riders and or multiple people in a command center monitoring multiple cars. So should be able to, if you got 30-cent cost and a $2 a mile ride, that's going to be very, very profitable at some time in the very, very soon. So we're not 100% sure why Bradford is off the air right now. But we'll get back to that in a second. When he comes back, I want to find out what he thinks about in terms of the being able to scale up in terms of demand. So we'll be talking about that in just a second. So let's see. Also want to ask Bradford what he thinks about the fact that we're almost to the end of June and we haven't seen the affordable car yet. That would be a big question that we'll ask Bradford when he gets back here. By the way, the market today, Tesla did finish a little bit off at the end of the day. We got Tesla was down $1.77 or 0.54%. With the market, Dow up almost 1% and NASDAQ up almost 1%, and the S&P up just 0.8%. And that would be at 6141, still not able to close above the all-time high, but NASDAQ continuing to set new records every single day. There was, good, fairly good news on the import-export side of things. Imports were down a little bit, but exports were still pretty in control. I'm sorry, exports were down just a little bit. Imports were popped up higher, but they're still in a good place. Okay, Brad, where have you gone? Well, maybe he thinks he's able to talk to us and maybe he can't. Maybe it's a Wi-Fi issue. What else happened today? We also have bonds fall. Believe it or not, we got to the end of the day today, and the bond market is under 4.25. If you were following this morning, we were hoping. Oops, here we go. We're going to bring Brad back in. Maybe we'll be able to see him. We got you now, Brad?
Hey, Dale, sorry about
Okay.
that.
Not at all. I was just explaining that the 10-year bonds dropped under 4.25 today.
Wow,
This is very exciting news.
that's really big news.
So my other big question, Brad, is about the demand. So once we start rolling this out, and let's say we start by trying to add additional cars in Austin, which makes sense,
Mhm.
get to 100 cars, 500 cars, 1,000 cars. Do you think it will? Do you think there will just be that demand without Tesla having to do some significant promotion in order to get people to start using the vehicles?
I think it's a good question because you may have to have people download a new app. We don't know if Robotaxi is going to be incorporated into the Tesla app or not. It's very snappy on its own. Granted, the demands on the server are pretty low, but it's very fast right now. And generally, it does a really good job showing, where the car is while you're waiting for pickup, all that stuff. I think when you're on a Zoom with the Randy Kirk, the one and only, I think it struggles a little bit. I headed to a coffee place that it's got beer. It's called Mission Burger. And coming out of that, we might have a chance to get an unprotected left. So depending on how long we go, yeah, I'll summon another Robotaxi and we'll see.
Okay, all right, okay, all
But
right.
I do think in general for these ride shares, like here's some perspective people are missing. People are like, oh, 420 per ride. Well, Tesla should do $100 a month or discount even more. I'm like, no. And the reason is Waymo is charging more than Uber and Lyft in San Francisco, and they're growing their market share.
Right,
Demand is going up.
right.
So you don't need to just
Give it
drop your
away.
pants
Yeah,
and bend over for your customers. Like you can charge a fair good price for this. You can maybe if you need to slightly undercut Uber and Lyft and still have a very profitable business.
yeah. So I know we may have lost you for a second here. Not sure. There you are. I think you're back. Yeah. So, okay. So, I mean, for instance, I believe that uh, uh, for those of us who have the Tesla app already, they can send us alerts on the app. And the alert could be, hey, download your Robotaxi app. I mean, that'd be one way to get people to start using the app. A free ride or a $4.20 ride could be the incentive.
Yeah, a free ride would be the thing, and Uber and Lyft did this to start to launch their service.
I believe that Uber and Lyft also, or at least Uber also was giving people a free ride if they got a friend to download the app. And I don't know.
Yeah, one free ride per friend that you get to download the app or take the free ride. Yeah,
Yeah,
that would go really well, and that would go viral. You'd have a big referral network. And think of all the service people in Austin, or all the students.
yeah,
University of Texas is big in Austin, so they would be referring all their friends. They would all get a free ride, and then they might try it and see that it's very effective. So
So,
I think I may have gone to, yeah, Mission Burger. Okay. We're about to turn in. Let me flip my camera.
oh, okay. All right.
Go. Very smooth. So it's done just like drop you off the curb of a busy street. It's taking people into the parking lot, not just like the first opportunity, but like halfway through the parking lot.
Yeah,
So this approach that Tesla is taking, I think, is a great approach. Some people might complain about it, but I think it's the way to go.
sure.
And get out of here. I had to charge my phone.
Okay, okay. So it does have a charger sitting there where you can,
No, you can plug into their charger.
oh, okay. All right. So there we have it.
And let me order the next one. Maybe our stream ends before the next one comes, but let me get it ordered, so I'll be right back.
Yeah, okay. All right. So yeah, so we don't have that affordable car yet. It is what is today? The 26th, and still no affordable car. That's 4 days until the end of the first half of the year, when we were told we would be having the more affordable car by the end of the first half. So I'm not sure whether that'll be pushed off, or whether in fact it might still happen. And that's what we'll talk to when we get back here. So
Yeah, so people got excited today because folks were looking at wait times, and they saw maybe in California and Texas, wait times suddenly went to 6 to 8
oh yeah,
weeks. But this is a pretty typical thing at the beginning of a quarter. Tesla is going to emphasize delivering to, or I'll phrase it this way, exporting to other states
right,
before they deliver locally.
right,
So that's mainly the reason. So like the wait times for other states are still, like, there's some states where it's 1 to 2 weeks, some are 3 to 4, and they're just getting that quarterly thing ready. So it just takes longer to deliver a car from maybe California to Indiana.
sure, sure,
Uh, so that's why, yeah, that's why that happened. It's not like there's some sudden surge in demand, or that they're taking everything down in order to do a new model. Even the S and X, like, why would they take the S and X down to do the new model?
So speaking
Unless
of,
there's a new something else that goes on that line.
so speaking of the new model, we are 4 days away from the end of the month, and we still don't have the announcement. Nick Gibbs on Tuesday night was saying he thinks that maybe they're going to reveal it on Elon's birthday this Saturday.
Ooh.
He thinks that they might actually drive the first off the line to an employee's house who ordered it
Mm.
somewhere in Austin without a driver. So you get all things at once. We got the reveal, the first car off the line, and the driverless delivery.
And they surprise Elon.
And they surprise Elon.
Don't tell
Don't tell
Elon.
Happy birthday to him.
Yeah, that's right.
So, but anyway, yeah, nobody seems to know what's going on with this more affordable car.
Mhm.
But I guess, we've been waiting a long time. We'll have to wait a little longer.
Yep. See how it goes.
We had an employee fired today.
Yeah, it's a big one.
Yeah. Sales and marketing. Somebody I would have fired a long time ago.
I would say no. It's 𝐄𝐦𝐚𝐢𝐥 is a what some may call Elon's right hand person. So he would handle stuff with teams, a little bit of HR things, some things with operations. He was very involved with the Giga Texas going up and getting that set up. Of course, there's like civil engineering teams and all that, but he was one of the key decision makers that helped with that.
Okay, but so what do we think? I mean, it's being announced as a firing, not as normally, even if you're in trouble, the boss says, hey, turn in your resignation and tell people that you want to spend more time with the family.
Yeah. Well, I don't know anything. I don't have any inside information, but uh, it essentially, like, Omid was like Elon's lieutenant. So like sometimes he had to deliver the bad news to teams, or he had to be the one that would push teams when maybe Elon wasn't needed to like uncork a bottleneck, but maybe they saw 𝐄𝐦𝐚𝐲 and 𝐄𝐦𝐚𝐲, had an uncomfortable conversation with them.
Yeah, maybe.
And this is a bit of an extreme example, but you can maybe view Elon as like the emperor and 𝐓𝐿𝐼𝐴 as Darth Vader.
I see.
So,
Okay.
so Darth Vader went in there and sometimes needed to give people their papers or whatever.
Yeah, give him the bad news.
Hmm.
Right. So we don't have any special information or why he was fired.
Mm.
There has been some speculation that obviously we're not going to have very good news when it comes to sales numbers, unit numbers on Tuesday or Wednesday rather. And then
Allegedly, we may get an update though,
an update.
because in the Q1 presentation deck, it said that we would get they said they would give an update on full year sales.
Oh, I see. So on Wednesday or at the earnings?
I'm guessing at the earnings.
Okay, at the earnings. Okay. All right. So, but sometimes you fire the sales manager, which is part of his title, North American
Mhm.
manager. Sometimes you fire the sales manager if you've got to give bad news about sales.
Yeah, that's true.
So, so very interesting though. I can't remember us hearing about a firing before.
Yeah. Well, the head of Supercharger got fired when the whole team got fired,
Right,
and
right.
and I think it was like the head of supercharging. Sorry, my camera's so bad, but um, the head of supercharging proposed. Here we go. Here's the next one, and we'll
Okay.
see if we can get a unprotected left.
Okay.
So I like the reflections on this. So let's see
Yeah.
if we can get some of those sweet
Yeah.
reflection. It's kind of fun.
Yep. Yep.
This guy knows me.
Yeah. They should all
They
know.
check the app, but I've like been with this guy 10 times already.
Right.
All right, so I got to buckle in, and then Randy,
Yes.
give me the command.
Oh, the command. All right. Here come the numbers. Oh no, wrong command. Go.
All right, let's see what it's gonna do. So it's not gonna do the unprotected left.
Oh, so not, it's gonna take a different route, huh?
Yeah, it's
All
gonna
right.
do a right, so it can make a left at a light and kind of work its way around.
All right.
This one's pretty hairy. It's a pretty busy road. And there's but I'll show it to you, even though it's gonna turn right here. It's got 2 lanes on each side and a lane in the middle. And even just turning right, it's had to wait
Yeah,
already like 20 seconds.
I personally don't mind that Waymo and or Tesla might take safer routes.
Yeah.
I think that's fine. If it's going to take you 5 minutes out of the way, maybe that's a lot. But if it's only going to take you a minute or two out of the way, I think it makes sense.
Yeah. So we're clear on the the left side, but the right was still like a constant stream of
Right, right,
traffic.
right.
So like if we were doing an unprotected left, we'd still be waiting.
For sure. Okay. Yeah, I'm okay with that. In fact, I'm okay with lots of things like that. I think that geofencing off certain roads or certain, really bad, horrible roads.
Yeah, and you can get traffic data with accidents.
Yeah.
There's the live reporting thing for accidents. I don't know if it's related to autonomous vehicles or not. in Austin. I think it's just all accidents. You can get that. So you
Right.
can see like a heat map of where most accidents happen and exert some caution around those spots.
Yeah, I think the other day when I was coming back from West LA to Riverside, I was not paying attention, and the car all of a sudden was taking the route I didn't expect. There was two ways to go back that are almost the same in terms of time.
Hmm.
Normally, it would take the way through Orange County, and it took the way down through LA instead. And I think that was because there was an accident that was going to take longer to go that way, and
Yeah.
it switched over.
Yeah. Generally a good idea to trust the Tesla when it switches. It's generally been the right decision. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's safe. I think safety is key in all this.
Well, I have one more question for you today, but it has to do with the general economy rather than the Tesla economy. And that is, I really did a,
Yeah, let
whoops.
me make a
Okay.
point real quick.
Oh, sure.
So, y'all can follow me on at Brad S. Ferguson on X in case you're, heavy on YouTube and haven't found me on X yet. On YouTube, we're Rebellionaire, and we're sharing some videos from my trip. One video we just published today is I had Grok serve as a local tour guide.
Okay.
So we asked about, different recommended spots. Um, we asked for like rock and roll or music scene in Austin, those stories. We asked for like a ghost story
Oh,
and
yeah.
awkward comedy stories, things like that. That was pretty cool. So it's a interesting use case where um, about 30% of rideshare riders, according to JC, who's on X as well, he's been doing a lot of Ubering. About 30% want to talk to someone
30%.
when they get in a car. So yeah, 30%. And got some hesitation at this light. Oh, it's a pedestrian. We were waiting for pedestrian.
It's usually better.
That was great.
Yeah. Yeah. You should usually let them
I
go.
didn't see the pedestrians, so I was busy looking at you. I was like, they were 90, yeah, and just walking slow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so yeah, Grok as a local guide, or just like someone to talk to,
Sure.
ask about current events. If they want to know the numbers, they can ask
Yeah.
them the
That's right.
numbers.
That's right.
Or
100%.
if they want to learn something on a road trip or be told a story, something like that, you have Grok there for that.
Yeah. Yeah. As you're passing a building, you can ask what that building is and it might know.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
100%. Yeah. I guess I watched a little bit of that video that you did earlier today. I think you were asking about In and Out.
Yeah, that was with Larry. That's a separate
Oh,
video, but
okay.
yeah, that was a fun one. Is it true? Let me ask you, Randy. You're an in and out expert,
Oh,
so
I am. Yeah.
is it true that once it's in your system, it's out pretty quick, or
Oh, no, 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 no. In and Outs are the best. They're 100% fresh. They're never frozen. The meat's never frozen. The potatoes are never frozen. Everything is prepared daily. My son worked there for about 5 years. They get a fresh delivery every morning, and sometimes during the day if they're going to run out. And they've been in business since 1948, same as me. I have been in business since 1948. They started about the same time as McDonald's.
Tesla just made a good move. We got passed on the right date. The Robotaxi just made a great move. There's an intersection here that was placed at the top of a hill.
Okay.
Do you see a problem with that?
Can be, yeah. You can sometimes have a problem with intersection because people are coming across as you're trying to make decisions.
Yeah, so like if the intersection's at the crown of the hill, you have limited sight on, cross the intersection or to each side of the intersection.
Right.
So that's tricky. That's something where you want the Tesla to, be updating its decision making every 3/100ths of a second, which humans take up to 250 hundredths of a second. Oh,
Yep.
no, 25 hundredths of a second, right, to react. And we also don't have eyes in the sides of our heads either.
You speak for yourself. You don't know everything about me. I should stop the video right now because it's really funny. You had
Can you turn your head sideways, please? No, I'm just kidding. Was it economy?
Oh, we're starting to lose you again. I think the Wi-Fi.
There we go. Okay. All
Okay.
right.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. Now I'm disappointed.
Right. Well, yes, my mother for sure had eyes in the back of her head. This is an absolute known fact. All of my brothers and sisters would tell you that. So, but yes, it is true that having 8 cameras has to be better than 2. There's no doubt about that.
But 16 may not be better than 8, right?
That's probably true. So all right. We're pushing up against an hour. You have any last thoughts for us for the day here?
Hit me with your macro question or whatever it was.
The
Sorry.
macro question
Or
was,
political.
I dug deep. I can't find any evidence of inflation. I went through the whole Trueflation website and went through every one of the sections, and it's like, no, we're at 2%. A lot of things are actually deflating compared to last year.
Yeah.
So it's driving me crazy that both the bonds and the Fed are not willing to bring us down into the 3s. We do have mortgage rates at 6.7 today.
That's good.
Yep. So that's a positive. So we could be looking at some help for the housing industry, which is definitely suffering a little bit right now.
Yeah. Well, for those who stuck with us to the end, give you all credit for dealing with the tech issues. Yeah, there could be a little weakness in the economy. I don't know how big this potentially is, but like, and it's a little uncomfortable, and I'm speculating, but Hispanic communities may be pulling back on their spending. And I know some people in consumer products companies that aren't doing as well because of the what they're seeing. So there's a little bit of a concern there, and I have a bit of a concern when the tariff deadline does pass, and if Trump's serious about that 90-day deadline that he gave on April 9th, and Trump is showed with Iran, he was very serious about deadlines, and that would be about July 8th. So I'm curious. I don't think we're necessarily totally in the clear yet, but I'm curious about that. But I'm optimistic in this future that we have with autonomy, with AI, decreasing costs of transportation, of doing business, automating business. We got autonomy is real. This is going to be a solution that's going to scale to many cities across the country. Maybe some cities will avoid Tesla for political reasons, but they're going to be shooting themselves in the foot.
Right.
This is going to generate a tremendous amount of revenue for cities. They can attack quite well, and they should be battling for Tesla's business.
Yeah. There's I guess already some cities talking about adding some tax onto the rides on these autonomous vehicles. Okay. Well, listen, Bradford, I'm going to let you go because we are still getting some, as you point out, some of those technical difficulties. I think we've covered the subject. Okay.
Yep.
Thank you as always
Bye
for
for
coming on.
now.
Yeah, thanks for bringing us on a trip through Austin. That was fun.
Yeah, you're very welcome. Take
All right. And to all of you, what I'm going to do tonight, because I don't have 𝐓𝐿, is I'm going to come back and see you guys in a little while. You're probably watching this at around 2:30 California time or after that. So I'm going to come back maybe around 6 o'clock, and I'll give you an update of all of the news for Tesla and also for the economy around that time. So look forward to that. Put down your notification button so that you can be remembered to come, because it'll be a little different than the normal day. Yeah, that's all I got for you right now. It's been great talking to you.